know this, but Tonya, tomorrow, a day after tomorrow, Monday, she's starting round 10 of chemo. Look where she's sitting. Okay? This is what, and you can ask any of us old dogs in this business, this is what we love about this business, is the people do for each other. They're not getting anything major for coming. We're not getting not a damn thing, Grace. Okay? I lied. You get nothing. All right? So this is why you come to this, okay? Her tip, get this, set your goal. If you don't have a goal, how do you know when you get there? Okay? Break it down. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Okay? Make your plan, and here's the key. Work that plan. Making it is all well and good, but if you're not working it, you're wasting a lot of paper and time. Okay? Don't let obstacles stop you from achieving what you want and need. That is her best tip for you. So it is with great pleasure, great honor to introduce you to my wonderful friend, Tonya Cole. Go get them. Tell them when it's done. All right, get your tissues ready because I'm leaving the room. Because it's not, I ugly cry.
So I knew that Priya was going to make me cry, and I don't want to cry in front of all of you. It's an honor that she asked me to speak here today. And I have one team member here with me, and I tell my team all the time, I am deathly afraid of talking in front of people. And they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am. So I'm going to share with you how I got started, and then I'm going to share with you setting some goals, overcoming those obstacles. But I was working 50 plus hours a week at a foster care agency, taking 18 college credit hours online, 3 kids on traveling sports teams and their school functions, and my husband was deployed to Afghanistan when I started this business. And people were like, are you crazy? I might be a little bit crazy. So I didn't have time to do cooking shows, and I was one of the very first consultants to do virtual parties. So I don't know if you remember I don't remember what they called them, the little pamphlets that we used to get in the mail. You know what I'm talking about, Grace? I was featured in one of those for doing virtual parties. The military moved us. My husband served for 23 years, so they moved us. I'm from Kansas. They moved us out to Virginia. Huge change. And I decided I could not leave my son home alone. It was just a totally different environment. And I didn't know anybody. I knew nobody when I moved to Virginia. So I started doing vendor events, and I've done cooking shows along with virtual, but I have been completely 100% virtual since August of 2017. I do anywhere from 24 to 30 virtual shows a month. I average 9 to 10,000 every month. I have notes. So because of the surgery, it affected my short-term memory. So I do have notes here with me to keep me on track. So I think the first step for everyone is that you have to believe. And in April, I was hit hard being told that I had brain cancer. It moved very quickly. I went into the ER on the 12th. I had surgery on the 15th. It was an 8.5-hour surgery, and they were not able to remove all the tumors. So I have to deal with this for the rest of my life and have MRIs done for the rest of my life to make sure that it doesn't keep growing. But I'm here, and I'm blessed for all of my Pampered Chef family because you guys have been so amazing in supporting me, and I wouldn't make it through without your prayers. So I truly appreciate it. So you have to believe that you can succeed. And when this obstacle got thrown in my way, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to change how I do things because I was limited on screen time because of the surgery that I had. I had limited time that I could work. My team jumped in to help out. I had virtual parties going on because I do Monday through Thursday, usually 2 shows a night. Like my March is completely slammed. And Facebook glitched the other night, totally messed that up. Another obstacle that I had to overcome. And So it's just, you have to, figure out a way, if you truly want to make it work, you'll be able to figure it out. So, and I even had my family, if you ever want your family to come visit, just get a brain tumor. I was like, y'all are out here really quick. And they came and they were like, go to sleep. And I was like, I got work to do. But you find a way. So my team helped out. My family helped out. There's always help. There's always a way to get through it. But you have to believe that you can do it. So something that I want you all to write down. Grab your pen and write down. My brain is not as smart as I think it is. My brain is not as smart as I think it is. Anybody know why?
Because it does what we tell it to do.
Exactly. So your brain will believe anything that you tell it if you tell it often enough. So, and it's a proven fact. So another great thing about belief is that you get to be in control of your belief. That's your belief. And you get to decide what you tell yourself every single day. Okay? So, how many of you are familiar with the belief triangle? Okay. So, the belief triangle is that my beliefs determine my actions determine my results, and my results reinforce my beliefs. Does anybody here do positive affirmations? So, example of the affirmation, I am a director with Pampered Chef. You may not be a director, but you're going to tell yourself, I am a director with Pampered Chef, and you will achieve that. So currently I am telling myself I'm an executive director. That's one of my goals. I want to earn it by the end of August because I want to go to Paris again. So you could do, I lead by example, and I hold 2 shows a week, no matter what. My team is successful, and we welcome 5 or more new consultants every month, whatever. They're your affirmations. So don't compare yourself to other people. This is for you. So what I want you to do, take a few minutes, and I want you to write down at least 3 affirmations for yourself, and as many as 10. Bless you. That was a good pausing break. It doesn't have to be about Pampered Chef. It can be, I've lost 10 pounds. Whatever. It doesn't have to be Pampered Chef related. Anything that you want it to be. Okay, while you guys are finishing, what do you suppose would happen if you read these affirmations to yourself every morning that you wake up and every night before you go to bed? Right, Grace? That it's going to come true. You're going to achieve that because your brain believes what you tell it. Okay? So I really like this analogy. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. And a plan backed by action becomes reality. If you don't act upon your plan, you're not going to go anywhere. You have to do action. Okay? So I'm a very visual person. I write down my goals. I truly believe if you don't write down your goal and it's not in front of you, you don't know what you're working for. So mine is that I write it in my planner. I want 10,000 in sales every month. And I didn't start there, but that's what I've grown to. I want at least 20 shows a month. I want 2 new team members every month, and it's my goal. And I put goal, and then I put actual. Do I make my goal every time? Nope. I've only lost my elite seller status 1 month, and it was in January. I took 2 weeks off in December to go home, see my family. I have a 6-month-old granddaughter. And I took 2 weeks to myself to be with my family. So that was my choice. I did not know that in January I was going to have a lot of hosts say, I need to move to another month. I can't do my show this month. And I did everything in my power to get to 6,000 in sales, and I couldn't do it. But I knew that I tried everything that I possibly could to get there. So I let it go, moved on. February, got it right back. So sometimes you're not gonna make that goal, and it's okay. But you've got to at least try for it. So I write down my goals. Some of you may want to do a vision board. I'm not a creative person. So I just write them down. But you can do a vision board, whatever you want. If you want to get all your credit cards paid off, picture of a credit card and X it out, whatever it may be. Statistics do show that people who write down their goals have over an 80% higher success rate of achieving them. 80%. That's a lot. So you could, start a goal journal, write them in your planner, make a vision board, whatever you want to do, but make sure that it's a SMART goal. Does everyone here know what a SMART goal is? Yes? Here, Grace, tell us. She's like, she put me on the spot. Specific, measurable, achievable, results oriented, time sensitive. So make sure it's a SMART goal. And every accomplishment starts with your decision to try. Nobody can make that decision but you. So, do you have a goal of how many shows you want to do a month? How many of you have goals that you want every month? A good majority. So do you have a goal of how much you want to make a month? Do you have a goal of how much you want to sell a month? Do you have a goal of how many consultants you want? You see where I'm going with this. Everybody's going to have a different goal. Do you want to earn Disney? Who wants to earn Disney? Of course we do. So if you're say you're just wanting to earn $400 a month, you would need to sell, I'm going to go with the 20% commission because it makes it easier. You would need to sell $2,000 to make $400 a month because that's 2,000 times 20%. So that's $400 or $500 shows for the month. That's one show a week. Who can do one show a week?
Somebody had 30 on.
So don't worry about how small or big your goal is, because that's your goal. My goal is going to be different than your goal. Your goal is going to be different than mine. Everybody has a different goal. So just don't compare yourself to others. Make a plan. Break it down into small pieces and steps to help you achieve it. And when you do achieve it, you're going to feel really great. So, I kind of skipped over and I put things in a different order now.
Okay.
So we already talked about my medical history. The one thing that was really funny though throughout this process, so I did not get to go to California. I was top 100, and because of my surgery, I couldn't go because I wasn't going to enjoy it, and they really didn't want me traveling anyway. Home office was extremely awesome. They were able to get everything, the flights canceled, my money back, we were taking our son, so home office was really great. And I was in the Lead Plus program at that point, working with Judy Joel, and she called me to check on me after my surgery, and she said, Tonya, are you crazy? And I was like, well, is that a trick question? And she was like, you had brain surgery in April, and you also sold $10,000. And I was like, yeah? Like, what's the big deal? It's just what I do. So it was my goal. Everybody kept saying, you need to stop, you need to slow down, you need to rest. So I did. I just readjusted. I take breaks in the afternoon now, and I have to readjust my office hours. But I was like, it's who I am. I love paper check. I love sharing this with other people and helping them. So, it was just a very nice call from her that, you know, she was like, that's crazy. And I was like, well. So, see, I should have just stayed on track because now I don't know where I'm at.
You're doing great.
That's why I don't talk in front of people. But I had to go through 6 weeks of chemo and radiation, and that was a long drive. I live near DC. 45 minutes to get to my appointments, 5 days a week, or 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half to get there, depending on traffic. Waiting to see the doctor, hoping they're running on time, get my treatment, and then an hour and a half to 3 hours to get back home because guess what? We're in rush hour traffic. So I had to really readjust everything. But I knew what I wanted, and I adjusted. So if you are wanting something and you have an obstacle in your way, just know you can work through it if you really want to achieve it. Do you want to do the sheets? Do we have time?
Yes, you have 10 minutes enough
Sure.
to do the sheets, or at
Do you
least
wanna
hand them
hand them
out, and
out?
we could do more with them at the second segment. If it's, you want to do it now, or do you want to save it for the second segment? It's up to you, whatever
We
you
can
feel
do it
up.
now.
Okay, let's do it now.
Okay, so April.
Can somebody help April
Brielle
do?
had to print these, but those, so they need one of each of those. These are already printed on both sides.
Okay, so these they need one of each.
I didn't know how many people we
Yeah,
had here.
so why don't you, yeah, split it with Vanessa and Jan, we'll get it done faster. Okay. Thanks, guys.
So I'm going to share a little story with you. Who is familiar with Rory Vaden? Yeah. Take the stairs. Procrastinate on
I have my own
purpose,
copy,
right?
very good.
Yeah. So how many have read Take the Stairs? Oh, good. Take the Stairs. Yeah. So in that book, he talks about a cow versus a buffalo, and he says the
Remember
epic
that
fight for
workshop,
effective
Stacy?
change management.
Remember the
So
workshop of the cow versus the buffalo?
it says that.
Rory Vaden and copy?
I'm reading off of a sheet here. He recently taught me about the fascinating behaviors of the cow and the buffalo. We can learn a lot about ourselves by observing these two creatures' responses to storms. No.
You're gonna love it. It's a great
Oh.
analogy.
Maybe
Well-
one each table? Oh,
Those were single printed, so some people were getting,
Some people are
were
getting
double
double-
printed and some
Yeah.
were single printed.
Yeah, you guys have to pass those out together, you and Jen.
Yeah.
It's
Jen-
the same as this.
Sorry.
Oh, I think that's what they're not understanding.
Yeah, Jen.
Here, let me see yours.
So just
Yeah,
raise
I
your
think
hand
that's
if
what
you
they
only
don't
have one
understand.
sheet.
Okay.
You should have two.
Those of you, how many
like
of
a
you,
single
raise your
sided
hand
sheet,
if
you're
you
gonna
have the
need
double-sided. Okay? We didn't have enough because we have so many of you coming, we're thrilled. So Vanessa and Jen are gonna send you, instead of getting a double-sided, some of you may get an individual sheet. Okay?
I can post these in the group as well.
Okay, who needs a set? Who doesn't have, okay. All right, this table, you know. You have a double, oh, I'm sorry. can I
Yeah.
put it down?
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. I think they're just really confused.
Everything? Okay. All right. So growing up in Colorado, I could expect 99% of the storms to begin in the west and roll over the majestic Rocky Mountains and then head east. Additionally, Colorado is one of the few places on earth that has both cows and buffaloes. When cows sense that there's a storm coming from the west, they will run east away from the storm. So as we all know, cows are not the fastest animals in the kingdom, and so the storms eventually catch up to the cows while they're still running east. The cows actually end up running with the storm and inevitably prolong the agony and pain of being in the storm. So us humans do the same thing, right? Except our storms are storms of change, where it's raining social media, thundering technology, lightning new generations, and we get overwhelmed and we choose to run away from change. We run and cling to the hope that our current skills and knowledge will outplace the looming and inevitable storm at our back. Buffaloes have a very different response to storms. They wait for the storm to crest over the Rocky Mountains, and then they run west into the storm. By running towards the storm, they run through it and minimize the time that they have to deal with the storm. So we don't get to choose if we get storms or when change is going to occur. Those of you doing virtual shows, Facebook is changing all the time. Oh, guess what? Facebook made changes. I used to do events. They made changes while I was in the hospital having brain surgery. Oh, guess what? You can't post in events anymore with SendShare. You have to use a group. Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks. I had to adapt. I had no choice. So it's inevitable, and our development through change must be intentional. So you gain a mindset like the buffaloes, and you lean into it, and you embrace that storm so that you can become better equipped to weather the next storm, trend, or change. So get buffaloing and persist through change. So you all should have a sheet. Let me see if I have an extra one for me. I got one. Okay, so this is the, you should have this sheet with the cows and the buffaloes. Okay, so I want you to think about how, really think about this. Be honest with yourself about how you handle each topic. Do you handle it as a cow and run away? Or do you handle it as a buffalo and take it head on? Now, it's the only way that you're really going to grow is to answer this honestly. Now, some of these, I was like, kind of in the middle. So I just put like a little star in the middle that I'm in the middle. So with booking and prospecting, are you a cow or are you a buffalo? With recruiting, are you a cow or are you a buffalo? Customer care, are you a cow or are you a buffalo? So I'll let you guys fill this out.
Yeah, like we have whenever.
And your other can be anything that you have. For me, my other was systems because I didn't really have a system in place. I put myself as a cow with systems. I'm getting towards being a buffalo. So other can be whatever, you know, it is. Alright, so we'll move on to your other sheet, which should be Make the Magic Happen for Earning Disney. And this is pretty simple. You may not be able to fill it out right now, but you can fill out the total number of points needed if you know which level trip you want to earn. So for me, you know, when they told me that it was $150,000 for Hawaii, I was like, no, I'm not earning that one. I did it, and I had brain surgery, and chemo, and radiation. So you can do it. So my goal is elite again with the Disney trip. So then you just fill out, I need this many points per month, and you divide that by 12. So mine is that I need 12,500 points a month. I'm pretty on track, a little bit behind because of January, so I'll make it up. So based on just sales, you're going to take, so mine is 12,500 divided by my year-to-date sales average, which at that point was 512. And so that came out that I needed to do 24 shows a month. That's my goal. My goal is 24 to 30 shows a month, so I'm right on track. If you base it on just sales and recruits, then the number of qualified recruits for the year, so I had 14 times 3,000 was 42,000. So you're gonna take your points needed minus C, and that's gonna give you how many points you need, and you're gonna divide that by 12. So then I would need 9,000. 9,000 divided by the 512 means that I needed to hold on average 17.6 shows. Now you also have your bonus points. So you've got those consistency points. So if you sell $2,000 January, February, and March, you're gonna get 1,000 points. April through June, same thing. So there's another 4,000 points that you can earn. Here's the big one, promoting leaders is 6,000 points. You guys, earning these trips by building your team is really where it's at. It's doable for anybody. You have to break it down. I wrote this down with several of my team members, and they're like, oh, I can do that. That's not so scary. So you have to break it down with them. Let them see exactly what it is that they need to do.